Welcome to the Beanie the Spider and Friends Talk Time. In the Adventures of Beanie the Spider books, we are introduced to Beanie in her fine art gallery and follow along as she imagines going on adventures inside the paintings. In one such painting, Beanie envisions riding a hot air balloon. Today I'm very excited to introduce two real-life hot air balloon pilots who will share a little bit about what it's like to really float and fly in ways that Beanie can only dream about. Joining us from the USA, we'll be chatting with pilot Roger Clark, and calling in from the beautiful landscape of Italy, we'll be meeting pilot Massimo. Thank you for joining us, Roger. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark from Greenville, South Carolina. I've been flying for 44 years now, and I have the BFA Ed Yost Master Pilot Award. I started flying when I was about 13 years old. I soloed when I was 14 years old, got my private at 16 and my commercial license at 18 years old. I learned to fly in South Carolina. I've been flying different balloons over those years. All of them are fun and exciting, and they all fly a little bit differently, but a balloon is pretty much a balloon. So really enjoy just being up in the air. My primary balloon, I call it Pirate's Booty. It's a 1989 balloon, so it's been around a while. It's been rebuilt a little bit, but it's multicolored. Lots of fun to fly that. At one point, my brother and father and I had 7 balloons between the 3 of us, so it was quite a lot of work, but we had so much fun doing it. My father and I also owned a Cessna 172, so I do have my fixed wing license. Later on, 2 friends of mine and I bought a Piper Archer and flew that for a little while. That got to be a little more expensive than ballooning, so I got out of the airplanes, loved it very much, but ballooning is really where my passion is at.
Is there a flying season in South Carolina?
But we fly pretty much year round. We love the winter. It's great flying. The balloon flies great in the cooler air. We also like to fly in the spring because of the colors. You can see the mountains. We have lots of trees around here, lots of animals. You can see deer and fox and all kinds of things when we fly. The fall is actually very nice too because you can see the mountains and the change of the colors on the trees.
Let's talk quickly about how hot air balloons work. If you've ever seen a floating lantern with a flame inside, you've seen how heat from the flame causes the lantern to rise up. Simply put, heat rises and can be used as a means to lift something, such as hot air balloons. In addition to flame and heat, other factors can affect hot air balloons too. Roger, can you tell us the importance of the weather while flying?
Weather is very important to ballooning. Is there rain in the area? Are the winds too high? Is the direction good? So there's a lot of things that we look at. Even things like hot air coming off of parking lots or big mall areas, things like that. The updraft from that can actually lift the balloon or even push it to one side or the other because we're at the mercy of the winds. We can't steer. We don't have an engine. We can't go back and forth. And we really have to do whatever the wind tells us that we're going to do. I have passengers ask me when we take off, well, where are we going? And I always have to tell them that we don't know exactly, so we just relax and enjoy the adventure.
So where's your next flight going to be?
In July, I'll be headed to Montana, so it's 3-day trip out. I'll be there for 4 days and then a 3-day trip back. It's going to be an amazing trip and sort of a fun cross-country excursion for me. I'll also be flying in Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina later this year. Looking at possibly flying in Europe next year. There's an event in Belgium that I'm looking at. There's also an event in Italy that I'm looking at. So we could have some fun.
How exciting! Speaking of Italy, I think it's time to say hello to hot air balloon pilot Massimo, calling in from the Milano region in Italy. Massimo, thank you so much for joining us today. Please share with us a little bit about your flying experiences.
So my name is Massimo. I'm flying in Italy, and more precisely north of Italy, near Milano and near Mondovì, that is the Italian capital for the hot air balloon, due to their wonderful weather conditions.
Those views are stunning. Do you have a favorite balloon?
My favorite balloon, I would say, that is the first one that I had, that is flying, is a blue and violet balloon that is called Violet. It reminds with this royal blue and violet a flower.
Such lovely colors. Are you the first pilot in your family?
No one is flying on my family. I was the first one, and I started flying when I was 18. So I'm 50 now, so it's around 30 years more flying. I started with aircraft, and I started then flying balloon 10 years ago. For me, was the best way of flying, and so I fall in love with ballooning. I started flying then commercially and also in a lot of events. I've flown also gas balloon in Germany and Netherlands.
What flying events do you have planned for the future?
I have two that are my favorites here in Italy. One is in Mondovì, is in January, and is the Epiphany meeting. It's called Epiphany meeting. It's very famous. And the other one is in July in Todi, in Umbria, balloon vacation, balloon holiday. It is quite fine. My main interesting is in ballooning. I hope it will be in this way for a long time.
The landscape in Italy is so beautiful. What a wonderful place to fly. Thank you again for sharing with us, Massimo. Roger, please share with us some words of advice for anyone, like Beanie, who might be interested in hot air balloons.
I was a safety officer at Albuquerque for 5 years and learned a ton. So it's great to always go out and look and see how other people do things because there's always more than one way to do it. Learning different ways of doing it, you can kind of figure out what really works for you. Over the years, I've trained probably 30 to 40 students. Right now, I spend more of my time training students because I want to transfer the knowledge that I've gained. And it's not so much the science, but as much the art of ballooning. It really comes down to how can I get this balloon to do what I want with the winds and weather that I have? And that's where a lot of the art comes in. There is a lot of science behind it, math and physics and engineering. It's an amazing adventure. If you ever get a chance to do it, definitely take advantage of it and do it and learn as much as you can. Balloonists love to answer questions. If you're ever at an event, never feel hesitant to ask a question of a balloon pilot. We love to share our information and the love of our sport with us. Have a great day.
Such wonderful advice. Thank you, Roger. On behalf of Beanie and myself, thank you to both Roger and Massimo for participating in our chat today. It was great to meet real hot air balloon pilots. See you next time.